let's talk about jealousy. Let me ask you this. Are you a jealous person?
No, I wouldn't say I'm jealous, but I mean, I'm not gonna feel okay about certain things. Like, see, the things that cause jealousy shouldn't be taking place anyways, right? So like, if you're texting some man like at work and it's not work related, I'm gonna ask about that. And some people would say, hey, are you jealous? Are you insecure? Well, shit, I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with that shit. I think there's a common respect when it comes to stuff like that. And if you want to call me jealous, that's fine, but that's not happening on my watch though. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that's an appropriate thing to bring up to your significant other if they're texting somebody or calling somebody, and to say like, hey, what's going on there? But I guess what I mean as far as jealousy is, let's just say you're going out to dinner with your wife or your girlfriend, and you see a guy checking him out. Do you look at that and go like, why are you wearing that? Cover up.
No, because here's the thing: if you're gonna date a baddie, you better fucking be ready for attention. Now, you just better make sure you date the right baddie, one that's going to show you respect, because if they can't handle the attention, if they can't handle like being barked at or whatever, or catcalled out in public, then that's going to be an issue. So I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've dated a baddie that can handle those type of things and then respects me 110%, and then I've been on the other end of the spectrum where like they fucking relish in the compliments or like the attention. That's why they love their fucking Instagram, because they want to hear random fucking people, men and women, that like, oh, you look beautiful today. Oh, you look gorgeous. And like, I think that shit, man, like, I don't know what the answer is to that. That's kind of like a superficial thing. Like, so they were very superficial and, you know, was very self-centered. So like that stuff, stroke their ego, if you will, and they just weren't strong enough, and they let that stuff get to them. And pretty soon, like, I think if you get lost in stuff like that, sooner or later you're gonna, you know, you'll have a bad day in your relationship, right? You have a bad day, and then you'll leave that door just cracked just a little bit, and that right compliment will come across your DM, and then you'll fuck up in that moment of weakness. Like, I just think you got to be really careful with shit like that. You can't entertain it at all, because if you're not careful, you get fucking trapped in your own weeds.
I would agree with you on that. So, like, for instance, with you, you have been streaming now for over a year, and I know that I have seen women comment in your either Twitch or your TikTok talking about like how you look or how attractive you are or your voice. And I've never seen Jenna ever come in there and saying like, you know, don't talk to my man like that. If anything, I've seen your supporters going, hey, he's married, calm down. So I just wonder how she feels in that situation, seeing that you get like this female attention, but also you're extremely loyal. And she knows that about you.
But I think that plays the part on like the person that you're with. Like in my situation, she knows in terms of like my involvement of anything. Like, she doesn't have to question me. Now, if I gave her reasons to question what I do and why I'm doing it, I'm sure she'd be all over it though. You know what I'm saying? It's like you end up creating your own monster depending on what you do. I really want to touch up. I guess I'm gonna go into it right now because I want to find out obviously what's your. So I used to have this dude that I worked with, and he would always come into my office and he would talk about. He's like, man, I'm dating this girl, man. The bitch is crazy, you know, like she's always checking out my phone and like digging into my stuff, like trying to follow me and like find out what I'm doing, where I'm going and all that stuff. And he used to tell me these stories all the fucking time, but he's fucking around.
Oh my.
You get what I'm like? He's fucking around. So like he's for real fucking around. She has every right to be suspicious, but he's doing that whole thing where you gaslight and you turn it around on them. I'm like, how are you calling her crazy? Literally, we had this conversation. How are you calling her crazy when she's smart? Like, you fucking around, right?
Self-aware.
He's like, I was like, well, I said, so you're mad because she's catching on to you. and she's about to catch you, so you want to call her crazy? How's she crazy for that? You almost believe your own shit that's coming out of your mouth. You get what I'm saying? Like you believe this stuff. Like you get wrapped up in that shit. He just like lie after lie. And poor girl, man. I don't know what happened with that situation because I'm not, I don't fuck with that dude. But
let me ask you a follow-up question to that. Let's just say you're friends with both of them. You're friends with her and him as a couple together, and you find out that he's cheating and he's sharing with you that he's cheating. Do you tell her?
No. Mm-mm.
Why don't you tell her?
It's not my place to do that. Like I have friends, and it's my job to maybe, again, it's their life. They got to answer for that on their own time. Okay. Now I'm here to set a good example. I'm here to teach them, but it's kind of like, precocious. I don't know, precocious for me to be like, hey, I'm going to teach this other grown man what he should be doing. You get what I'm saying? So like, I don't overstep my boundaries as far as stuff like that goes. I'm still like, I'm still one of the homies at the end of the day. I don't encourage that stuff. But I definitely talk about stuff like, I just like, man, like, what if she found out, dude? Like, what you feel like shit right now? Like, if she found out, like, what would happen to your situation if she found out? So, like, I try to talk some sense into them, but, by the end of the conversation, they might be on my side, but it doesn't matter when they go off drinking and, like, fucking leave town and shit like that. Like, I have no idea what they're doing. So I do the best that I can, but I don't want to dirty the well. Like, I don't want to be the one that causes the problem. Does that make sense? So like,
yes.
I always use this example too. People ask me that question, like, well, you just asked, how come you don't step in and do this and that and that? I'm like, well, maybe he's currently on his path, right? So people ask me this about like leading people to faith and all that shit. I said, well, does it matter if they get there now or later, as long as they get there, right? Now, obviously, we'd want them to get there before something happens, and like, I don't know. I mean, you can say anything, but I'm like, maybe he's on his path right now. So I just try to show respect in that. I'm not gonna, I don't know. I'm just not gonna cross that boundary. I think that's like a man code that is tough to break. I mean, you really don't want to break that code.
I would say it's different for women. When I am confided in with certain things like that, I don't necessarily go to their spouse and say those things, but I start slowly associating with them. And I just make it known, like, I love you, I care for you, I just don't agree with some of your life choices, and I just can't be around that.
Right. When you figure it out,
I'll be here, but until then, like, I don't want to know these secrets and any of that, because I don't, I don't lead like I don't like lying. And so sometimes there have been things that have been confided in with me, and I just blurt it out because we're just having a conversation. And then they'll go, I told you not to say anything. And I'm like, fuck, just don't tell me, because I just don't want to be in the know. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm sorry. So I would say for me, like, would I go and tell them, hey, your spouse is cheating on you? Not if they confided in me. But I think this is the emotional part of women. If I saw something in public, like I saw a significant other hanging all over a woman, kissing all over a woman, would I say something then? In the heat of the moment with the emotions, yeah, I could see that happening. I could see me calling, videotaping, saying, oh my God, we need to get together. I just saw this. I could see myself reacting that way for sure.
So you got, you're friends with the girl, but you've gotten to know the guy. So you see your friend in public cheating, you're going to tell the guy.
No, I think if it was the other way reversed.
Well, yeah, of course. Like, so, the loyalty comes first. So, like, if my boy's getting cheated on by his girl, absolutely, I'm fucking telling him. But like, I'm not gonna tell the other way around. Like, no. I'm not like if my boy is doing something he shouldn't be doing, I'm not gonna tell his wife.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. Even if I know, even if I see it in public, I'm just going to be like, man, what the fuck are you doing, dude? What are you doing? I'm not telling on him. Like, people can say that that's wrong and all that shit, but man, I just believe in that. I'm not fucking going to step on my boy's toes. I'm going to try to help him. I'm going to try to get him there.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't condone it, but I'm not going to throw them into the fire. I'm not doing that shit.
It's kind of funny how we both said the same thing, but loyalty to our friend. You know what I mean? Like loyalty to our friend. But like, just like you said, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, get yours. Like, you know, I wouldn't like bask in it. I would be like, this is not the right choice. Like, you shouldn't be making these choices, especially if there's like family involved, like kids and stuff like that. I would have a very hard time.
I think that's the right thing.
Yeah,
I do. It could be debated. I get it. It could be debated, but here's the thing: like, when that relationship ends, even if it ends on good terms, that girl is not going to be my friend. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, for me to like hang my boy for this person that is not going to be there in my life, whether they make it or not, is not even worth it to me. That's not worth it to me. Like, I'm not interested in that. Like, I'm all about like leading, teaching character and all that stuff, but you know, they're not kids. You know what I'm saying? They're a grown fucking man. And when we have a beer together at a barbecue or something like that, and we're able to come down on an even playing field, then I'll bring it up. But I'm never going to put him on blast. I'm never going to embarrass him about it. I'm never going to call him out, because I'm not perfect either, right? So I'm just not going to do that shit. And my relationship with their wives is never going to be as strong as my relationship with them. So
yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. I would say, so going back to the jealousy thing. So I think it is very different jealousy as far for like women. So if I see like a woman looking at like I fucking the shit out of my guy, I'm going to say something. Like,
but why?
Because I'm crazy. Because I'm batshit crazy when it comes to that stuff. Call it the like Latina spice. Like, you've heard the myths, right? About dating a Latina. We're a little bit more like crazy. And so we're very territorial on what's ours. And like, this is ours, and you respect around the barrier. And so if I see a woman staring at my man that he can obviously see that he's with me, I'm gonna be the one that goes, "What's up? You like something? What do you want to talk about? Huh?"
Do women do that though? Like,
I have literally done that
to somebody that was with somebody.
So
check them out.
Let me tell you a story. I have not told this story in a long time. It was at a company Christmas party, okay? And it was me and my ex, and then it was a girl going with a date with a guy, and he was married. He was married but separated, okay? So we go out to our company Christmas party. It's a small Christmas party, but we've sectioned off a corner of the restaurant. And it's a steakhouse. It's really nice. Everybody's dressed up really nice. She's younger, so she's dressed up very provocatively. She's pouring out of her dress, okay? So where we're sitting, it's me and my ex, and then she's sitting across from us and has her date. I'm a manager, so already I'm upset that my peers across from me hanging out of her dress, and I'm coming to the party with her, so it already looks bad on my part, and everybody knows that her date is married, so it looks bad on my part, so I'm already frustrated. So we're there drinking, I'm just helping out with the party, hanging out, and then she gets wasted, and she leans back in the booth and she starts like rubbing on her chest, and mind you, she's out. She's rubbing on her chest, and she goes, "Oh my God, I'm feeling so warm. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do to get into tonight." And I leaned over the table, leaned over like this, and I said, "You lay one fucking hand on him, and I swear to God, I'll beat the shit out of you." That's what I said.
But how do you know she was talking about your man, though?
Oh, I fucking the shit out of him. I could see what was happening. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
But you just said you were, though. Maybe you are, though.
No, so I'm crazy in the sense to where I will react, but I will not like when I go out in public. Even when I was a waitress, because I used to waitress long time ago, back in the 1900s, and I'm over here waitressing. I would never ever stare if it was a couple. I would never stare at the man. I would ask the woman, "What can I get you today?" And then when he would order, I'm like, "Okay, got you guys. Have a good day." And then I would look away. I would never make eye contact because I always respect the boundary forever. I know not everybody else operates that way, but that's how I operate.
So have we seen a woman that like will come on to? I've never seen a woman. No woman has ever come on to me in front of another woman.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I don't. Has anyone dealt with that in the chat? Fucking Twitch and TikTok.
You've never
in front of a woman. No.
You've never gone to a bar and you're with your girl or whatever, and then somebody's trying to hit on you.
Nope.
Oh, I've seen it happen so many times.
Like I've been hit on, but not in front of like my date. Like that's never happened.
Moral of the story: women are jealous creatures. We are, but I would say that. I'm a little more spicy. I'm a little more spicy for sure. That's for sure.
I tell Jenna, I was like, I used to tell her, I was like, I like a little bit of crazy, not a lot of crazy. Like I don't mind jealousy, like a little bit. Like you should be able to be territorial because, right, it's yours, right? I feel like so, but I definitely can't do like all the way over the fucking moon crazy. Like I can't do that shit.
Have you ever gotten in a fight over a girl before?
Hell no.
Would you? Can you ever see yourself in a situation where you would?
No, there's too many of you guys out there. There's no reason. Like am I right? They're all over the fucking place. Why are we fighting over one? There's billions of them, man. Why are we fighting over one? You get what I'm saying? I'm just not like that. Which that also goes into my next thing, man. I think you can love. Here's the other reason why I just feel like you have to respect the boundaries 110% when you're in a relationship, because I feel like you can be in love multiple times during your lifetime. I think you can love and have affection or like infatuations with lots of different types of people, different types of personalities. Now, I'm not one that thinks you get imprinted on somebody and then that's my soulmate and shit like that. No. You can recycle that shit. Like, that's why I feel like you got to be fucking careful, because someone is always going to look better than the next, and you're always going to be able to like someone more than the last person, especially in your given situation right now. Let's say you've been with somebody for 10 years and it falls a little flat. It's not as fiery as it used to be. You fucking see this other person. All of a sudden, in that moment, you like this person a little bit more because it gives you all that excitement back that you haven't felt in a very long time. That drug is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. It is. And that's why, I think it's just dangerous overall. If it brings up the question that we asked last week, which is, can men really be friends with women, and can women be friends with men? Because of that, it takes a very strong-minded person to say, no, I'm not going to entertain this, especially when stuff at home is not going right, and especially if, you have somebody who's stepped out in the relationship before. I think that opens up a whole other book. Like, you should never make your partner feel like temptation's going to creep in again. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's your job to make sure that there's security there. But I think, but it's like what we just started to say, like right before I started all this stuff, like, if you don't give them security or a stable foundation to stand on, like, you're not going to be stepping out, and like, you're always doing like these little things and then kind of staying in the shadows with shit, and you're giving them a reason like, oh, that's odd, what's that about? Like, you drive them to the point of being crazy if you're not transparent in what you do. I'm not giving you my phone, I'm not giving you my password, so now she might be thinking about that. After the argument that we had that was really bad, now all of a sudden this matters, because like, well, what is he doing? Why is he being mad at me? Why is he always starting arguments with me? So like, you got to be careful with stuff like that. That's why transparency keeps you sane. Yeah. I remember having somebody over here to hang out once. We were just hanging out, and my sister... AKA fucking? No, we were not. We were just hanging out. And AKA fucking? No, we literally didn't. We were just talking. There's no fucking such thing. It's a guy? It's a guy, yeah. Okay, didn't fuck that time, but fuck. Never even kiss. So here's What's the point in hanging out? What's the point of hanging out with a man?
I really enjoy intellectual conversations.
I bet he was hard the whole time.
No, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Did he try to come on to you later on in the relationship?
Not once. Not once.
You guys talk anymore?
He send. I'm gonna read one of the text messages from him. I'll read one of the text messages from him.
She said hanging out.
No, so okay.
Can you believe that shit?
So I met this guy off of I think it was Tinder, and this was years ago. Okay. He actually follows me, so he might be in the chat. So we were gonna go on a date, and it was during COVID, so you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't do anything at all. Listen, I was attracted to him. I liked him. He was attractive. Okay, listen.
I'm listening. I'm just making a point, and she completely tried to dismiss it, didn't she? And then now she gets to the part where like, oh, they actually had a thing. They actually kind of liked each other.
We never kissed, nothing. So
there's no such thing as hanging out with guys.
We were getting to know each other. So we go on a date.
Got you.
This is COVID time, so you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. So we decided to get like Chick-fil-A and eat it in my car. So I got Chick-fil-A and we're eating in my car and we're talking to each other, getting to know each other. And he's telling me life experiences that he's had. And like, I'm telling him my life experiences and everything. Like I could see this person as a friend. He was very attractive. He was 6'5", you know, so I don't want to hear any of this, blah, 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 blah.
One box checked, yeah.
No, I'm telling you because I don't want to hear you weren't attracted to him. No, I was attracted to him. We just had different priorities. His kid was younger than mine, and we could never get our schedules to like mix. So it was like, okay, nothing's gonna pursue here. So we started talking just as friends. Well, like this is like a 2-week span. Well, we were going to get together for dinner again. And I call him and he's like, I'm actually in the emergency room. My appendix ruptured. I'm having surgery right now. Like I'm going into surgery. And so I was like, what do you need? Like I could bring your, you know, do you need clothes? Do you need a charger? Like for your phone? Like, what do you need? And then I kept texting him and calling him like, are you okay? Do you need anything? And so and this was like 3 years ago. He still to this day texts me Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday. And I had asked him like, why do you do that? Like, how do you remember my birthday? You know? And I won't read the text messages word for word, but he says, there I was at like my most vulnerable, like having surgery and like very insecure and hurt. And there you are, never only known you for a certain period of time. And you're like, how can I help you? What can I do for you? And he goes, I'll just never forget you. And
that's good.
And like, to me, like it never was romantic, but he's a friend.
For you.
So you're saying that he looks at me that way.
He would absolutely, let's just do it right. Why don't we run an experiment?
What's the experiment?
We'll just be like, hey, I've been partying it up. I've been drinking a little bit. Why don't you come over tonight after Carter goes to sleep? Just say that.
Text him that.
Yeah.
I'm dating
just
somebody.
Wait. Just wait. It's an experiment. It's not for real. So I guarantee you he's going to say, what time? What do you want to bet? Let's just bet. I mean, let's just a live bet right now here on stream. You going to take that bet?
No.
Okay.
Because I'm going to respect the person that I'm dating, and I'm not
Tell him first.
No. It doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen.
Okay. I can't help it.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Let me ask you this question. So, sudden death, fire round. You texted him, what do you need? He's in the bed. He's about to have surgery. He says, Trish, you're awesome. Thank you. There is one thing that I need. I need a blowy when I get out of here. Do you give him that?
No. No.
He needs that one thing. You offered.
I did.
You said,
charger.
What do you need?
A fucking charger. I didn't offer
You didn't say what charger. He said, what do you need? He said, Trish, I'm really in need of a knob polishing.
Well, go have somebody else slob on your knob because I'm not doing that. I didn't think about him that way. I didn't think about it in that light.
But it's a nice gesture though. Like his appendix is hurting, so he's probably going to be bedridden, so he can't do anything else. I mean, I think that would have probably been the nicest thing you probably could have done for him.
So somebody said in the chat, 10 gifted to House if he says what time.
I swear to God he will. I fucking swear to God he will.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not, here I am discussing something nice that I did for somebody, having this surgery, and he's like, if you said give him a blowy, would you give him a blowy? How old are you?
Okay, so I got a good comment in the chat. I won't say who said this comment.
Okay.
So he's just continued to role play. He's really good at this. So
Sure.
you reply back with no, that's it's gonna be a hard no right there. You say, okay, I understand. Maybe that was a little bit too far. Would you settle for a hand job?
No. Is this real life?
Well, this wasn't really. Then you weren't being sincere. You weren't trying to help him. I mean, you were just.
I was trying to help him with a change of clothes or a fucking charger.
If you really want to make him feel better, like he's anxious, he's pent up, he's probably a little upset, on the verge of tears. He needs to relieve this pressure. If you really want to help the man, I mean, come on.
Oh, I hear you. If I really wanted to help the man, I would absolutely. I hear you. No.
You know what you remind me of. You know what you remind me of. You remind me of Goodwill. You donate it, you give them free stuff thinking they're going to give it to the poor, and they turn around and sell it at fucking black market prices, man, instead of giving it away like they're supposed to. Fucking good deed my ass, man. They need to change their fucking name to Rip Off
You know who you remind me of?
What?
You know what you remind me of?
What?
Andrew Tate.
Hey, that's a compliment.
Yeah, whatever. No, so I'm telling you this. No. Okay, if I wasn't dating anybody, and I was into this person, and they said, hey, like, I'm not feeling too good, but I could really, really use a blowjob. That's what they're saying to me. I might consider it.
Right, okay.
I might consider it. Hand jobs, no. Listen, we can't all be good at everything, and that's just something I'm not good at, okay? I have arthritis, I got carpal tunnel, like, it's not working out the way that I want it to.
This is why they like me here, because I ask the hard questions. I ask the real life problems, man. I get to the fucking meat and bones of conversations.
So let me get this straight. You guys are in the hospital, about to have surgery, and the first thing you're thinking of is, damn, I wish I could get a blowjob right now.
if we truly want to feel better, yeah. Yeah, if we truly want to feel better, yes. That will make us feel better. Dead ass.
Is there ever a time that men are not thinking about blowjobs?
Probably not. It's either blowjobs or sex or
church.
I mean, I'm thinking about, damn, I can't wait to get out of church and get that blowjob. let me get out of church, man. Fuck. God damn, how long is this sermon? Fuck.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me think of another weird situation. You're at PetSmart buying dog food, and you're lifting up the dog food. You ready to go?
Well, that's like a if you're anywhere for a long amount of time that will make you bored, a man's gonna think about that. But like in the moment when he's doing an activity like getting dog food, now when I get the dog food and I'm sitting at the light and the light's taking forever, it might come across my mind, yes.
What? Let me ask you this.
Not during activities, though.
What's the craziest place you've ever done anything? Anything. It could have been a handy, a blowy, some ass.
I guess behind a Herbie Kirby.
Herbie Kirby?
Yeah, behind a trash can. I mean, I just figured wouldn't nobody look there. Yeah. Yeah, it's behind a Herbie Kirby, standing up,
classy.
Middle of the night. Yeah, I mean, it didn't smell too great, but you know.
How old were you?
It got the job done.
Were you a teenager or were you an adult?
I think I was a senior. I think I was senior high school. Well, like, I think like when you're younger though, when you're younger and like you don't own your own place, you got to come up with all these.
You do have to come up with some weird places.
You have to figure that shit out. Like you become a really good problem solver when you're a kid in high school. I think that's a commendable thing.
I mean, it definitely shows that you're resourcefulness for sure.
Yeah, and then after a while you just get bold, right? And then you're just like in the room. It doesn't matter like when your parents go to sleep and shit like that. So I mean,
well, like
you
dressing room.
Dressing
at an Anchor Blue.
What is that?
Remember Anchor Blue?
I don't know what that is.
It's a store. It's called Anchor Blue.
What is that, like a?
It was just like they carried like jeans, like Levi's and like all that stuff. And
I never heard of that store.
It was in the dressing room.
Oh, I don't even know what. Oh, in a department store.
Yeah.
Got you.
I'm like, what are we missing here? I miss Anchor Blue. So see, Brandy knows what Anchor Blue is.
I don't know what an Anchor Blue is. That just sounds like a Wish Navy.
No, it was
Navy, a Wish Old Navy.
No, it was definitely more like Levi's, stuff like that. Like it was very popular back in this day.
It's a West Coast store.
Maybe, I don't know.
I've never even seen it at a mall. Is it a?
No, it was
a mall
it was
store?
in a mall. They're not around anymore. Okay.
Oh, I got you.
Now, are we gonna have to look this up? Are we?
No, I don't care that much about Anchor
look it
Blue.
up.
I'm not gonna go shop there. I'm not going to shop there, so it's all good.
Why aren't you gonna shop there? Not too good enough for you?
I mean, I don't. It sounds like an Old Navy or a fucking Aeropostale or what's that
Hollister.
one? What's Hollister? It sounds like one of those type stores. So no, I'm not going to shop there.
I would compare it more to like American Eagle, Abercrombie.
Yeah, I wouldn't shop there. It's not the 2000s anymore. You know what I'm saying? Do you shop? You shop at those stores there still?
Me?
Yeah.
I literally wore Abercrombie jeans today. They're nice. They make your butt look good. I like Abercrombie jeans.
I'm not making fun. I don't know
Where do you
what
shop?
everyone.
Where do you shop?
I don't know what everyone wears and all that stuff.
The sweatshirt I'm wearing is literally, I got it off of Etsy. I love this sweatshirt. You're such a shit.
I don't know. I'm not saying anything bad. I don't know.
It has Loki on it. I like stuff like this.
Loki from Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's cool. I'm not making fun of you. I promise you. I'm not making fun of you. I promise. I swear. I'm not. No, Lucky jeans, Valley. That's 2000, man. Like, that's like, I don't do that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
2000.
All right. Read a DM. Let's hear it.
Is there a good age for marriage, or does it depend on readiness? What do you think?
I think when you're younger, you think you're ready. You think that you're ready to get married because you've never felt this way before. This is the love of your life. You're going to be committed to them forever. And it's your first dose of like a grown-up choice. Unfortunately, when you're young, you think life is never going to change. You think it's going to stay exactly the way it is. And that's wrong. Life is continuously changing, and you mature as you get older with different life experiences, money hardships, making more money. You physically change. What I would say is, if you think you're ready to get married, and let's just say you're young, let's just say you're below 23, what's the rush? I'd ask yourself, what's the rush to get married? Why are you looking to get married? Is it something for you? Are you looking for like something that you didn't have when you were younger, like a family? Are you looking to, because you can't afford your bills, so you're looking for companionship? Or is it really love? I would just always question it if you were below a certain age. Would you do that?
Obviously, I'm never going to say go against your feeling or what your heart's telling you or whatever your stomach or your gut's telling you. I think you got to follow that once and foremost. I think that's your truest and honest answer for yourself. But if I were to give advice to like my son, I'm going to tell him, man, don't rush into marriage. Go below your 20s, man. Go have fun, go experience the world. Don't tie yourself down, because I'm very big on experiencing things. I don't want him to grow up his whole life in one spot. I think people get stuck in a shell and their world becomes very small. So I want him to experience the world. I want him to see different women across the country. Like, I want him to see what he doesn't like and what he does like, and see different cultures and all that stuff. And I don't want him to get tied down in his early 20s. And then maybe after his 30s, if something happens or pops off, cool, do whatever you got to do. Now, the only thing that I would think would get hindered is I wish I had my child in my 20s. I do. That way,
you wish you would have had him younger.
Yeah, I wish I would have had my boy right now. Same situation when I was younger, but I wouldn't have wanted to sacrifice what I experienced in my 20s for that. But I would have loved to have my child when he's younger and have him experience some of the things that I was experiencing during those times. And, you know, now at 40 something, you know, he's already, you know, I'm still kind of young. I'm doing like the football stuff with him, maybe coaching him and like going and seeing him playing. He's already about to go to college now. Instead, now I'm going to be what, fucking 60? You know what I'm saying? Like that shit sucks. So I'm thinking about that already. So like in my ideal situation, I probably would have blew my 20s and then had a kid at 30, ideally.
So we have a comment, and I think you and I can both relate to this, where it said married at 19, divorced by 33. So
damn, man, see, just wasted the crucial years of their life. Now it's not over.
No, it's not over. But
yeah,
it's harder.
You're still young at 30. You're still young-ish.
Yeah.
But man, not like when you were 20 though. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Fuck.
And like, so one of the main comments that I had gotten in videos was that, and I actually asked a couple of my guy friends this question, where when we were talking about the type of like men will go for any woman whatsoever, they said what they gauge it on is market value. And so when they see a woman that's older, that's been divorced, and has children, that it automatically makes your market value lower because there's younger women who don't have children that they're going to opt for versus the ones that have children and are older, divorced, whatever you want to call it. So I remember reading that going, like, first really defensive, because obviously I'm a mom of one and I'm in my 30s, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I have so much to offer then, you know what I mean? Like I have so much more to offer somebody. But when you think about it, they're right. Like, they're right. Are they looking for somebody who's more fun and doesn't have any responsibilities? Or are they looking for somebody who's a little bit more serious and looking for longevity? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because I'm not saying he's right, you're wrong, or vice versa. But and I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying I agree with him.
No,
I understand.
I do too. I
understand. And there would be an argument for that side, and I couldn't say that they're wrong or right. And I know, like, women especially probably going to get really offended by that, but, you know, like, look at your situation. I'm not saying this in a bad way, but you disclosed last week that you can no longer have kids anymore. So that in turn would not be desirable for some men. Not all men, but some men that maybe want to have kids and all that stuff. So you got to be realistic about, like, what you bring to the table and, like, what people are looking for. But should he be saying that way? Probably not. But
I think
it's kind of one of those things that you just.
That's one of the things that I've learned is people just say things the way that they say it with no filter, and no taste. Like, you could say that. You could obviously say that point without sounding like a fucking asshole. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I just have learned for me that I just might not be their style. Like, I know who I am at my age. Like, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I need to work on. And one of the things that I cannot do, like you said, is have more children. I cannot have more children. So if I meet somebody and they want children, I'm obviously not the one for you. I would say, like, even for me, I would be probably more attracted to a man with children because I've always wanted more children, but I can't have any. Does that mean that I'm only going to go for men that have children? No, that's not what it means at all. But I would probably be more attracted. You know what I mean?
More attracted,
like more willing to pursue. Because I would love to have more children. I would. Obviously, the perfect scenario would be that I would meet somebody and either they have children or they would be willing to have adopt. But I'm pushing 40 here pretty soon, so that's probably not going to happen.
Like, I think adopting is very noble, and I respect anybody that does it. It's not something that I could do at all. And again, I think hypothetically, I've adopted a lot of children. Not technically, right?
Yeah.
They don't live with me, but I've adopted. Like, I had one reach out to me. The kid randomly found me on TikTok. He hasn't spoken to me in 11, 12 years. He was at the place that I was at for one season, and he ended up leaving. So we're talking about maybe months that I got to meet him, talk to him. And he saw me for the first time on one of my TikToks, got viral. It took him a second to realize who it was. And then he sent me a fucking awesome message about like, Coach, I know I was only there for a little bit, but man, you were so impactful on my life. So like, I've adopted a lot of kids, and we're talking about a kid that is like, I've known for a very short amount of time. I haven't even developed a great relationship with him, but I've had kids that I've known for 4, 5, and 20 years now. Right. So, but like, I just could not do it. Like, I always wanted to have my own kids. Like, the bloodline thing's very important to me. I was the last male in my family name, and I didn't want that to fall. I didn't want that to end on me. So like, it was very important that, you know, I had a boy when I had a child, and I was going to keep having them until I had one, to be honest.
Were you pretty excited when you found out you're having a boy?
Oh yeah. To swing on the first pitch and hit a home run, man, that was pretty fucking exciting. So like, but I've always wanted like 4 kids and all this stuff. But like, I love the notion. But like, even if I adopt, let's say I can't have kids, right? This is gonna sound bad. So say I can't have kids, can't have kids. Would I adopt? Probably. Would it feel 101% exactly like I wanted it to be? Probably not. Now, I'm not in that situation. Probably my mind's changed, because if that's all you got, then you appreciate what you got. But man, I would feel disappointed, probably in myself, or like, but I definitely think it's amazing. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else had like raising another man's kid. Like, so like, even this, like that worried me when I was dating a little bit. Like, I dated somebody
else's kid.
Yeah, raising another man's children, or being second, right? Now, when you adopt, you're number one. They don't even know them. But like, you see all these shows about like the person wanting to, like the kid wanting to find out where they came from, or seeking out the identity of like their biological father. And I know curiosity killed the cat and all that stuff, but man, all those kinds of activities just makes you feel second no matter what you do. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I never want to be in that situation.
So I think I'm very aware of that. I could be in that situation. I think about like, my ex-husband has a girlfriend that he's had now for going on 3 years. Okay. And I think she is the perfect addition to our what our family looks like. Okay. She is so amazing to Carter. She does not overstep boundaries whatsoever. And she respects me. She doesn't talk bad about me at all to Carter whatsoever. And I got very lucky with this bonus parent that my ex-husband decided to bring along. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't have men like around Carter or introduce them, because I want to contribute that also. I want whoever I bring in to be an addition to our family and feel just as important as I've made her feel, because that matters to me.
Yeah, isn't that daunting a little bit? Like, even if I'm thinking about right now, me and Jenna don't work out, and then there's going to be another father figure. Like, that bothers me.
It did initially. Like, it did initially, knowing that there was going to be another woman influencing my child. Did that make me emotional? Did that make me sad? Absolutely. It made me scared that there would be a moment that my kid might say that he loves her more, or wanted to be around her more. Abso-fucking-lutely. Does it even still scare me that one day he might say, hey, I want to go live with my dad? Absolutely. It scares me that he would say something like that. And that's why I chose to have such an amazing relationship with my ex-husband, because I don't ever want it to get to the point to where Carter ever feels like he has to choose. Like, we split custody. That's good. And we make sure, like, we communicate weekly about what he needs, and all of us do. We actually are in the middle of scheduling us going to make Christmas cookies together as a family. And I make the conscious effort to do this, not because of me, for that little guy that's out there right there, because I want him to be able to of course, I didn't get married with the expectation of getting divorced. I had
Right,
no
right.
idea that that was going to happen. I got married because I thought that this was the person I was going to be with for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, we were very young and we grew apart, unfortunately. And so, with that being said, we got divorced. So, I'm going to make the best of what our situation is now. And that's what I'm doing every day. I have
that's
no
smart.
idea what I'm doing, but it's working. It's working.
Yeah, that's smart that you guys that preempted. Hey, we're gonna make sure we have a good relationship because we don't want to make it a bad situation for Carter moving forward. No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It works. Yeah, it works for us. Okay, so I have a question and I'm going to read it really fast. So it says, "Hey boss, question. Currently in a relationship with this female. She has a male friend she hangs out with about once a week. I confronted her about it. She was willing to cut him off, no hesitation. And I just simple said, no, I don't want to control you. So just mentioned to her male friend that she couldn't hang as much because she really likes where me and her are at and want to see where it goes. Don't hesitate. Wants to tell me the convo between them. Should she have a male friend? Nothing has went on. She has said there are boundaries and nothing has ever happened, of course. I am taller and more attractive male than him, but somehow a little offended."
And that's actually the one that I have the update to.
What's the update?
So the update to that. So if you guys caught what she just said, this guy messaged both of us that same question there. She has a friend. His girlfriend has a friend that's a male that she hangs out with once a week. He has expressed to her that that's not okay. I don't like it. She has agreed that, hey, I will respect you, which I thought that was A+. That means that she really likes him. So that's a good thing for him. So anyways, so it came back because she was so compliant. He came back and said, okay, you know what? He felt like he could trust her, the fact that she sided with him. So you see how that changes, right? When you get cooperation or like working together. So good for him, good for her. So he said, you know what? I don't want to be that guy. Allow me to meet your friend and I'll be good to go with it.
Yeah.
And the friend said no. So what does that fucking tell you, Trish?
He wants to fuck his girl.
He had different motives the whole time. So kudos to this guy for telling his girl, hey, that's not okay. And kudos to her for actually picking her relationship over the male friend. And come to find out, the male friend didn't even want to meet him. So that just tells me right fucking there. So, like, they don't talk anymore now. So he really wasn't a fucking friend then, was he? He was just a guy waiting in the fucking bushes.
He was waiting in the weeds.
Camping his ass off. That's what he was fucking doing, man. Good for both of them, man. So that's good.
So, like, even with the guy that I'm dating right now. So, of course, like, as you and I have been posting stuff and people are commenting and stuff, I do get DMs. I do get DMs that say questionable things. I don't even reply. I screenshot it and I send it directly to him. And I said, look at the messages that I got today. And we have a good chuckle about it because I'm just being completely transparent. He's never asked me to send those to him, but I'm sending it, letting him know, like, look, you could see I'm not accepting the messages. I just want to let you know, like this is happening. And that's just me reassuring him because he has told me that he's been in relationships to where the girl has cheated on him or taken advantage of. And I just want to give him peace of mind. Like, he doesn't have to worry about that. So
that's the right move.
Yeah.
Got a guy here. So he's always he's talked to a lot of girls, been interested in a lot of them. All the time gets friend zoned. He brings a lot of good qualities. Probably not the best looking, he said, but he brings all the great qualities. Very loyal, stand-up character, great morals and values. Would make a great relationship guy, but never works out for him because he gets friend zoned by all these women. So his question is the same thing we talked about before about nice guys finish last. He said, why does when they've got a great guy standing in front of them, they choose to friend zone him when he would probably be the best choice for her situation in this given moment? Why do women always choose the latter? This is actually a great, I have topics to talk about. We are going to save them for Friday, but I'm going to end it with answering this question. So most women have dated somebody who's treated them like shit, that did not appreciate them, cheated on them, made them jealous, treated them like shit.
And so they've gotten so used to fighting for attention from their significant other or loved one. So when they meet a man that is giving it to them willingly, showing them affection, sending them flowers, being romantic, they immediately shut it off because they don't have to fight for it. They're immediately thinking, oh, I'm not attracted to this. There's no spark. There's no such thing as a spark. There's no such thing as a spark whatsoever. It is like, what do they call it? Not adrenaline. What's the other one? Dopamine, right? Is that what it's called? In your mind, that you've convinced yourself that you're excited off of it. It's because we don't have to work for it like we had to in our previous relationships, that we convince ourselves that this is not for us. We're not attracted to this. And so that's why when the bad boys come around and we have to fight for their attention and show them why we're worthy of their love, it's more attractive to us because we're so used to having to fight for it versus it just happening. And this could be because maybe they grew up without a father. Maybe they were like, there could be many things that contribute to that. With daddy issues is a real thing. Like, it's a real thing. So I know from experience that is why a lot of women push away the good guys, because they don't have to fight for the attention.
Yeah, and that's something that we're gonna have to do, like a segment about, like how do you get in there? How do you strike up a conversation with a stranger in a public place, or how do you initiate the first contact? How do you do that without sounding creepy or feeling creepy? Or how do you make it? How do you let it be organic and natural? How do you do it if you're fucking nervous out of your mind? So we're definitely gonna do a segment on that. But you remember when I was talking about that experiment with the dog and the attention? So the one subject gave the dog all the attention. After a while, the dog didn't want it anymore, never greeted the person at the door. And then the dog that never got any attention by the guy that was walking in the door yearned for it and ran to that guy every time that guy came into that workspace. And the guy would never pet him. So it's just interesting. It's interesting as fuck. Why are women online showing off their assets on TikTok but never talk to anyone?
Oh, because they're doing it just for attention.
For attention.
100% for attention. So when okay, if you were dating, would you find it attractive if a woman was all over social media? Let's say she had a Snapchat, an Instagram, like all of that stuff. No, not at all. Not at all, right?
If it's free for everyone, there's nothing exclusive for myself.
Nothing. Yeah.
So there's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about our situation. My attention to her is just as good as anybody else's attention. Like, some of that stuff's got to be exclusive. Like, you can be tasteful and sexy, fully dressed if you really wanted to, if you know what you're doing. But the fact that you got to show off that stuff, then like, I already know that that's going to be a problem in a relationship. There's going to be a boundary that's going to be overstepped, and then I'm going to have a problem with it, and it's going to come back to, this is what I was doing before I met you. So, like, you got to ask yourself, are you going to accept that? If you're going to accept it and if you're going to be with that person, you got to accept that shit. You can't open your mouth about it, to be honest. So, like, I think knowing that beforehand, don't make a bad decision and put yourself in that situation, because you're going to be standing on the train track when the train's coming.
And I just think that so many people look for validation in likes and comments and all of, like their whole identity is this reassurance that they get from social media.
Yeah.
And they're willing to do anything for it. Anything for it. It's disturbing.
Yeah. My last one is, what is our feelings about a jump off? You know what a jump off is?
No idea.
So I had to ask that too. I've heard the saying before, but it's just like someone that you have sex with.
Like friends with benefits?
I guess so. That's what that is. But again, it's not really friends, right? It's just like
someone you're sleeping with?
Yeah, someone you're saying, what are your thoughts on it? Yeah. Someone that, I guess, friends with benefits, someone that you're just like casually fucking.
Buddy, we are old. Like I'm Imagine us, like it being young, and you're talking with your homies, and they're like, "I'm about to go get a jump off." I'd be like, "What? Like, what the fuck is that? Friends with benefits, right?"
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I guess it just depends on what part of your life are you in right now. Are what are you looking for, right? If you're looking for a relationship with this person and you're just a jump off to them, then you probably shouldn't be engaging in that, because it's not going to happen. Like you're not going to win them over, guy or girl, just by fucking succumbing to whatever it is that's going on. If you don't have what you want right now out the gates, you're not going to get it, period. So, but again, like if both of you guys are in the same, both your hands are in the same cookie jar, then I don't give a fuck. Like, fine, whatever. Like, I don't.
Okay, so listen, I remember being at a point in my life in my early 20s where sex was sex, jump off, whatever you want to call it. Like that's what it was, get yours, whatever. I feel like now looking back at it and like the fun that I had, do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. I had a really, really good time. But would I have been a little more selective and not so willing just because? Yeah, I think so. There's a couple in there that I was like, nah, probably wasn't very smart. Like, wasn't, because women have to always operate in the sense to where like, yeah, you could use protection and be safe, but there is always a possibility that you could get pregnant off of something. And so there's a couple in there where if that would have happened, that would have sucked really bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. And I guess there's this other thing too, like if you're having a jump off, like one of them could get feelings and that would suck too. Like I think I've been in that situation before where like, we were just met, like we were dating and we were seeing other people, like we were cool, but they wanted to be more and that just was not in the cards. So again, I mean, you get fucking, and that sucked at that time for me too, because if that got brought up, like I was probably sucked into a relationship unwillingly, because.
How many times have you been sucked into a relationship unwillingly?
A few times. The one that hurts me the most isn't even the marriage one. It's I was fucking walking with this girl. It was in college. Fucking remember like it was yesterday. Like I with my boy, she's next to me, she's my jump off or whatever, and there's these guys off in the distance, right? And I'm like kind of near her, but they're like, "Hey girl, what is up, girl?" Like they're catcalling her. And I thought it was funny because I'm not with her, so I'm not going to get mad about that. And then she yells across the park to them, says, "You'll have to talk to my boyfriend." And I remember looking at my friend. I was like, "What the fuck?" And he just bust out laughing, man. He just started dying. And I was like, "Motherfucker, man." So like, do I embarrass her in that moment? Like, I would embarrass her. She probably would have cried, especially if I would have said that in front of my boy. I'd be like, "Man, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we ain't together." Oh, that would have killed her. So, like, I just ate that one. And I guess I was her boyfriend after that walk. That fucking sucked.
How long were you guys together for?
So I remember...
No.
I remember I was at her house in the middle of the night and she said something to me, and I don't know if it was something about like getting super serious or like, I don't know, maybe she told me she loved me or some shit. I remember she said something, and I sort of I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something along those lines. And I was like, "Oh my God, I can't fucking do this." I immediately got up. I ran out the door. It's the middle of the night. She lived maybe a mile from campus. I started running to my dorm. It's in the middle of the night. I take off. She's like, "Wait, what do you do? Where are you going?" She gets in her Jetta. She's like, I'm like jetting across the fields and the football fields. She's like, fucking trying to catch up. And I'm like, "Oh my God, what the fuck's going on?" I get to my dorm room. I fucking get to my suite. I got like 3 roommates. I slam the door. I'm like, "Bro, do not fucking answer the door." And they were like, they're like, "Man, bro, what the fuck you doing?" It's like 1 a.m. in the morning. I was like, "Bro, I'm sorry." I was like, I fucking just had to run across campus, and I had my Jordan 11s on, and one of my boys came and said, "Bro, you ran in your Jordans? You just made them all dirty." It was so funny, man. Oh my God, dude. But that was when we broke up. So like, that was it.
So she told you that she probably loved you or something, and you ran away in Jordans.
I was like, "Oh my God, no," because that's the last I wasn't doing anything, Trish, to even like, how did it get to that point? I was doing nothing. I was doing minimal effort. I did not ask to be in this relationship. How? So I just ran. I just fucking ran.
God, imagine being that woman who just like told this man that she loves him. Imagine.
Oh my God.
Tells him that he loves him, and then he fucking goes, no, leaves the house and fucking runs. Like, that, but like, imagine the memory in her mind.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry for that, but there's something's wrong with her. Something's wrong with her. It was never on that level. I'm just like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, it was craziness. Like, I just could not believe it. I was in awe. I was in utter awe.
Has she ever tried to reach out to you ever?
Oh yeah. Like, even after that, yeah, she was always like, I could have married her if I wanted to. Like that, it was that. So let me ask, like, well, I can't keep going, but
I know, you gotta go.
Like, it's so much more emotional for women. Right? It's so much more emotional. Like, you just reverse it. There's at least, and I'm not tooting my own horn, I swear to God, and I'm not like doing this on purpose. Like, in that situation, I was not trying. I did not do anything at all to garner that kind of love and affection from this person.
Yeah.
Someone else deserved that, okay? And she deserved better, but I don't know how the fuck I even got there, right? There's been like 4 or 5, if I wanted to, maybe more in my lifetime, that if I wanted to marry them, I could have married them. But if you flip it, see, I'm not saying that, but why is that though? But why is that though, right? Think about that. Why is it so easy the other way around? But as a woman, how many guys can a woman in the chat today, because I know you've been engaged a couple of times, but how many men in your life can you say, if you wanted to marry that guy, you could have married him? Probably not as much as the men, I would say.
No. Okay, I'm sorry, but back in my day, okay, I was a hot commodity, okay?
Right, but I just don't think, majority-wise, maybe you were, but that's different. But, like, majority of men aren't so eager to get fucking married. But why are the women, though? So, like, at any point, like when I was 20, all the way through there, I could have fucking married who the fuck ever at the time if I really wanted to.
I see the point you're trying to land. So I would say this. I remember when I had told you that women look at men. Let's just say they're coming out of a divorce. They're getting divorced, or they're married. There's a reason why women are more attracted to like a man that's been divorced, or like even attracted to somebody that's married, because it looks like somebody can put up with their shit. At one point in time, somebody put up with their shit for a certain amount of time. So when I meet a man who's 40, never married, and no kids, I immediately think, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And not because, like, let's just say they chose not to get married in their life and they were career oriented. Fine, totally fine. But that's the first thought that comes into my mind. Why haven't you held down a relationship? Why don't you have kids? And why haven't you gotten married? And it could just be that they just don't want that in life. But in my mind, that's what I think. Something's wrong with you.
I mean, it's valid. I mean, that's a valid thing. But I just feel like, I don't know, man. I like, look at my friends too. Like, a lot of those guys had the same type of relationships, man. They could have married that girl, but because he didn't want to, they didn't get married. He ended up marrying somebody else. But like, I don't see it the other way around. I mean, maybe women just have to tell me, DM me if you guys had a situation. I just haven't seen it. Yeah. I hear more about women wanting to be married so bad they can't find a husband. I just don't hear that on the male side. Oh my God, I want to be married so bad. I just can't find the wife.
You're right.
I just don't hear that shit. So it's just different.
It looks like we're having problems in TikTok right now, so I am going to end that. And I know you got to get off.
It's been like that for 2 days. I don't know what's going on, but either way, that was fun. That was a fun conversation. Be looking forward to it on Saturday. If you guys got questions or anything funny, a funny story, funny question, anything relationship, just send us a DM. We love reading this stuff live on stream, but it was a fun one.
Both of our DMs are open for that purpose only. Send us the DMs and we'll read them live on Friday.
Appreciate you, Trish.
See you later. Bye.
See you guys. Peace.